What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Nurturist Pod. We got Alex with us this week. Super stoked to have you on, man. How's it going?
It's going good, man. Just been grinding a bit. How about you?
Good, good. Is yeah, how is everything going with ghostwriting and everything else?
It's good, man. I've just been trying to work more and get more clients and stuff. Not really like under my control that much. We
Cool,
work for
cool.
an agency, but I think it's starting to ramp up a bit for him. He's signing some new people, so more work for me, which is always a good thing.
Nice. There you go, man. Yeah, that's I noticed that's in your bio now, the Birdhouse Cow. How since when did you start working with them?
Yeah, so I started working there. I want to say it was in early February. So I
Okay.
applied to it on Twitter. He made a Marcos is the owner of the birdhouse. He's one of the guys on Twitter who's pretty
Oh,
he does
nice.
pretty well on Twitter. And he made a post saying he's looking for
Mm-hmm.
writers for his agency. So I had no experience ghostwriting or anything, so I shot my shot and ended up
Yeah.
working it. So
No, that's dope, dude. You got to take your shot, right? Like,
oh, 100%.
you'll never know if you n never put your name out there and try and make it happen. So, no, that's dope, dude. And how long have you been ghostwriting for now?
Literally only since I started working with him. I wasn't doing it at all
Oh,
before.
really?
Yeah, I hadn't had any experience with it before, and
Okay.
I was like, you know what, I'll try anything at this point, and just wanted something. So I tried it and it's
Yeah.
been working out. But funny because I used to, maybe like 5 years ago, I used to ghostwrite for this like kid that I went to school with who makes music. And I never made money off it or
Okay.
anything. It was just kind of for fun. And
Yeah.
somehow 5 years later, I'm actually doing it to make money. So it's pretty funny.
That is crazy, man. You 'cause what were you doing before? I know you were writing, but I guess if it wasn't ghostwriting, was it more just like copywriting or what?
Yeah, so I actually wasn't actually working before. I was trying to get jobs. I had
Mm,
one copywriting job for an email thing. And so I did the work for that because I messaged him on Twitter again, same thing. So I did the work for that and I sent it and I was like, okay, so I have this job. And then they got the work,
yeah.
like, no, I don't think we're gonna use this. Didn't even use it. So I had no job basically.
No.
So I wasn't even doing anything. So
Yeah.
the ghostwriting was like my first legitimate job in writing.
Gotcha, man. No, that's cool. Yeah, 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 yeah. Right, right. No, that's sweet, dude. I think I don't know. It's crazy to look back on things like that, especially when you were ghostwriting for your buddy for free, doing his mu music thing, and now you're doing it full time, like as a ghostwriter. Um, but no, super cool stuff, man. That's super cool to hear. Dude, I had no idea that you and Lutz are buddies.
Yeah, yeah, that's actually how I got into it. So, yeah, I grew up in the same
Okay.
town as Lutz, and he, well, you know Cardinal Mason on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, so him and Lutz are really good buddies. So the way I got into it was I saw Mason on TikTok actually, and he was making
Yeah.
all these videos about how he's making so much money copywriting, blah blah blah. He barely does all this work, but he makes like, so much money. I was like, damn, that sounds sick.
Right.
So So I actually flutes and I was like, man, like what is all this stuff? And he told me he
Yeah.
was doing it too. So I was like, okay, this is definitely a cool opportunity. So I messaged Mason too. I was like, yo, like how did you get into it? Blah blah blah. And he has a course called Cash Flow Syndicate. It's kind of like an introduction course
Yep.
for copywriters. So I started
Hmm.
doing that and then I went through it and it kind of gave you like a good like this is how to start, like this is how to find clients or whatever. So I started doing that. And after, I think maybe a month, I actually found the ghostwriting thing, so I guess it helped. But yeah, so
Nice.
Lutz basically got me
Dude,
into it.
very nice, man. No, that's cool. I didn't realize all the different connections between you guys. That's super dope. Obviously, Cardinal Mason, he's a man. Like I feel like whenever anyone thinks of like copywriting, at least with his TikToks and stuff recently, dude, he's definitely like very well known in the space. So it's dope you were able to go through his course. How did you like it? Because I feel like a lot of times people like that, their courses aren't always the best. Not saying that his isn't, but I'm just curious your honest thoughts on how it was and how insight like what you were able to learn from it.
Yeah, so I had never taken any course or anything. Like I'd never bought one of those courses or anything. So I kind of was pretty skeptical. I always was one of those people who's like, oh, it's a scam. So I was like pretty
Yeah,
scared to buy it. It's like not expensive at all, but I was still scared to buy it because I was like, okay, what if it's just absolute poop? And so I was going through it and had no experience or anything. So for me having like no experience and being a complete beginner, it was actually really good. Like I learned so much of like the basic information on copywriting and like writing in general. So it did help me a lot, but I don't know, like I'd have to go back, look at it now and see from a perspective where I know a bit more and see how good it is. But I mean, for a
right.
beginner, it's definitely really good. And there's some good sales stuff in there too.
Dope, dude. No, it's really good to know because, yeah, I didn't think that his course was gonna be bullshit. I mean, he's
Yeah.
the man. Like I said, everyone kind of he's very well known in this space. But I was just curious to hear like your honest thoughts on the course itself. So, no, that's good, man. That's super cool. Is able to kind of get you going in the right direction with things. Um, but yeah, man, I don't know if you've listened to any of the podcasts that I've recorded in the past. But essentially, what the whole purpose of this podcast is to be able to help people who are like trying to find their path or who might be a little bit lost, don't know what to do. So I feel like it's super relevant to kind of, yeah, these last uh, little conversations and things we were talking about. It's super relevant and kind of want to take it back to like high school Alex. What would you say um, was like your biggest what was most important to you in high school?
That's a tough question because I was definitely a little dweeb, but I'd say
Yeah?
honestly, oh yeah,
No way.
in high school, I honestly, for most of high school at least, I didn't really care about school or anything. I didn't do like, I didn't do terrible, but I didn't do good. I just did enough to get by.
Hmm.
So, and I was playing sports. I was playing like football and tennis and track and stuff. So I'd say like I was just
Nice.
like, oh, like sports. I don't really give a. Can I swear?
Yeah, you're good.
But yeah, I didn't really give a fuck about like school or anything. I was just okay if I can get by, that's good enough. And so I was obviously like, partying and doing whatever as much as you can when you're 15. But honestly, I didn't really have some great priorities back then. So it's definitely been a big change because I
Yeah,
really rarely drink and rarely smoke at all, but I rarely like party or anything. It's been pretty different.
gotcha. Would you you a jock in high school? Like how would you describe yourself?
I see. I'd want to say I was, but like I wasn't even like that good at
Yeah,
sports to be like, oh yeah, I was just like sick at sports and I was an asshole. But I was like, I
yeah.
definitely played sports and I was probably an asshole. So I would say yeah, I was probably a jock.
Gotcha, gotcha. No, yeah. It's funny how that kind of happens, dude. Just the persona that comes with playing sports, I feel like is often more times than not, like it's hard not to be considered a jock in a sense, in that sense. Just like, yeah, in high school, dude, like I don't know, you're just kind of figuring yourself out. You don't really know what you want to do or what, like you're just experimenting things for the first time in life, and so, definitely makes a lot of sense. Why you were doing those things for sure. But no, man, that's dope. And so yeah, coming out of high school, like what what were your kind of like aspirations? Where did you want to go? What did you want to do? Just kind of want to hear those thoughts.
Yeah, so I went to Carleton University, which is in Ottawa in Canada. I'm from Canada, if you can't tell.
Okay.
So I went to Carleton for a year, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but a bunch of my buddies were going there. So I was honestly just looking for the experience, but so I went there for first year and did like an
Right.
undeclared BA. So I didn't have any actual major or anything. I just did some different courses, and I didn't end up really finding anything I wanted. And I always thought about doing firefighting. So I switched to the college, which was also in Ottawa, and I did a firefighting course at the college. So that was my plan for a while, and then I finished that, and I was gonna like I really wanted to get into firefighting, and honestly, it's still like a thought, but I always felt like I wanted to do something more creatively because I just always thought that that was something
Mm,
like I would actually enjoy and find fulfillment in. So I was reluctant to
yeah.
like start doing firefighting and then get stuck in that life and just not be able to do anything. So I wanted to wait like a couple of years and see if I could find something. So that's why I started getting into copywriting and stuff because I wanted to see if I could find something that was more like creative. And yeah, so that's what basically led me to getting into it.
Okay, cool. Did you I mean, no, that's awesome. I think it's crazy, like the amount of opportunity that you have, just like being someone young who has a freaking laptop. Like, there's so many different ways that you can go out and you can make money these days. And I think especially where you were wanting to be able to be more creative with um, your work, like definitely copywriting was a good route to go. So that's cool, man. Did you like did your parents had they did they ever say anything like, "Oh, we want you to be a doctor or a lawyer," or any of that, or were they just more kind of like, "Hey, go do your thing, have fun."
Yeah, my parents are really chill, so it's always kind of like do whatever you want to do. Like I have a couple of older brothers, and my oldest brother's has like five different jobs and like works a bunch of different random stuff. So I don't think they're ever like, oh, you need to be this, like
Okay.
you need to have your career set by a certain age or whatever. So they're pretty cool about that. They
Yeah.
were just they always like push for fighting because it's obviously stable, good job. But I don't know. I've always been
Hmm.
kind of, yeah, yeah, like I understand where you're coming from, but I'm gonna do something that I actually find fulfillment in, and I don't let, as much as even though it's my parents, I don't let other people like kind of tell me what I should be doing and stuff. Like I take the advice, but I'm always like, okay, I need to find something that I actually enjoy.
Hmm.
So yeah.
No, I love that. I think that's super important and probably something that a lot of people could do a lot better. I feel like a lot of times other people, parents, they get in your own head, telling you should go do X, Y, Z, and so it's super important to be able to follow what you're passionate about and what you believe you can find success in. And so, no, that's cool that you have those supportive parents for sure. That are more kind of just like, hey, go do your thing. We trust you. We love you. More than now, you need to be going to law school. You need to be a doctor or whatever. Because I know I definitely have some buddies whose parents are like that, and it can get in your head. It's tough for sure. But no, that's cool. Looking back at high school, going through your experiences about how you've gotten to where you are today, is there anything specifically that you would change?
Like about my high school experience.
Um, yeah, just like maybe something you wish you would have done differently. Like looking back, the partying, sports, whatever. Would there be anything that you're like, oh man, if I would have done this, I could have been here, or is it more just like, you know what? High school was high school. Like I had fun. It was a good time. I guess more like one piece of advice for yourself. um, if you were to be able to go back to high school.
Yeah, honestly, I think high school is like the perfect time for you to get all like the partying and like just social life and just having fun. I think it's important to do all that. I think that's what it's for more so than school or
Mhm,
anything. Obviously, it sets you up to do something after, but that's only honestly just grade 12. Like before that, it's just kind of you're supposed to enjoy yourself and like meet people and socialize and go out and drink and whatever. So I wouldn't change that because I did have a good high school experience in that way. The only thing I think I would change would
mhm,
be to instead of going like right to university. I also at the time didn't know this was even possible, but instead of like going to university right after, I would like look for a job that I'm doing now, like something similar to this. Because if I could have done that like 5, 6 years ago, I would be like obviously way farther ahead. I'd be making really good money by now. So I don't know. I think it would be it's insane to look
mhm.
back and think like this is even possible when I was coming out of high school, but if I could like tell myself then that this was a thing, I think that would have put me so much farther ahead. So I wish I knew about this back then, basically.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think everyone kind of just thinks that yeah, that's the path. That's what you do. You go out of get out of high school, you go to college, go hang out with your buddies, figure things out for the next 4 years till you graduate, then you go get a job, do whatever. So, yeah, obviously hindsight 2020, like
Yeah,
could
for
have
sure.
started doing this in high school and could be making racks right now, but um, no, I think it's yeah, super important to be able to enjoy your journey for sure. So for someone who is, let's say, yeah, just like graduating high school, trying to figure out what they want to do, like, let's say they are wanting to get into copywriting, what would be your one piece of advice, for them, just like to get going?
Yeah, I think as much as it does sound like I feel like a lot of people look at it in a negative way. Like I was saying, I used to think they were a scam. But courses like Cash Flow Syndicate and courses that teach like intro and beginner copywriting, I think those courses are exactly what you should do just to kind of ignite the flame even. So I think take one of those courses, hop on Twitter, start looking all over Twitter, like get on the side of Twitter that we're on, and just start like looking through, finding
Hmm.
people in space, like people like Dan Coe, Justin Welsh, Dickie Bush, all those guys who are like insane at what they do. Go look through all their replies and everything and who interacts with you, and just start going on their profiles and like DMing them, making connections with those people, and build some experience. Try to like say you'll do some for free for whoever and just find like experience through that and then eventually you can actually start applying for like legitimate copywriting jobs. But I think Twitter's the place to be honestly right now. I think it's only going to get bigger.
Dude, Twitter has blown my mind over the course of the last couple months. I
Yeah,
used it in high school to talk shit with my friends and stuff, and never deleted my profile, and then decided to hop back on like I guess it was like October of last year. And bro, just the amount of connections and people you can meet through Twitter is insane. Dude,
oh,
the network that you can build is incredible. Like it's been so cool to be able to not only hop on these podcasts and to meet people, but just to interact with different people in the space and on the side of Twitter that we're on, like you said. So yeah, if you don't have a Twitter account, definitely go download one, because there's an insane amount of value through the people that you can meet on Twitter for sure.
you're still using the same account
But
on Twitter?
yeah, man, yeah.
Did you look back at your old tweets at all or no?
But a little bit, yeah. No, I before I started like tweeting a ton because I was kind of trying out the I guess I was more just like building my own personal brand. Because I tried out ghostwriting for a little bit. And yeah, anyways, before that, dude, I have some funny tweets on there for sure.
I was gonna say, man, I'd be scared of you because I use a different account than I used in high school, but I'd be scared to use the same
Oh,
account because
gotcha.
there's definitely some things that might have got me canceled.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, some old tweets from
No,
high school.
I wasn't too crazy. I wasn't too crazy, I guess, and there were, I think the ones that were controversial, I probably deleted because they're not on the account anymore, as far as I can remember. So I did make sure to double check things before I started like trying to build my own brand and whatnot. But I actually started hopping on. It was because of crypto. I'd heard a bunch of different people getting tons of different information on Twitter. And with all the different DAOs and different things, I don't know, conversation for another time, but that's kind of what like led me back to Twitter. And then I got on there, got on the money side of Twitter, and yeah, no, it's been a blast for sure.
Yeah, it's insane how money Twitter is literally like it's almost like a different social media. Like you don't even know
Yeah,
about it before, and then when you get on it, it's like a whole community of like thousands and thousands and thousands of people. It's actually so like it's insane.
it is, and people are from all over the world. Like
Mm,
I was hopping on calls with people at the end of last year. And dude, I think there was maybe one or two people that I talked to out of the like 15 that were from the States. Everyone else was dude, South Africa, Bali, ton of people over in Europe. Like it's crazy for sure.
it's
And it's cool because I feel like a lot of times people they're I don't know, just like your friends and family, they don't always think the same way that you do. And so being able to find like a community of people who think like you do is so powerful. Um, so yeah, I've definitely enjoyed it.
yeah, no, it's actually it's really cool, and I think it's the only well for me, I guess if you use LinkedIn, but I'm not a big LinkedIn guy, but it's one of the only social medias that you can use and actually use it for like purpose. Like you're actually like making real connections and
Yeah,
making you can make a lot of money off of it too. So it's really cool.
absolutely. Don't underestimate the power of Twitter for sure.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Well, sweet, dude. I appreciate you hopping on. I know it was pretty quick, but yeah, it was a good time for sure. Of
Thanks for having me, brother.
course, man. We'll keep in touch. Talk to you soon.
For sure.